All right, everyone, we start off today talking about the imminent immunity case decision by the Supreme Court in the United States. By the way, again, if I sound a little bit hoarse or something, or if I look like fucked up, I don't know what trees are having sex right now, but they're really undermining me. They're not pine trees, though. I'm not exactly sure what species is involved with this particular chemical onslaught. Trump's immunity case. There are effectively three things that could happen with regards to this. Number one, the Supreme Court can side squarely with Trump, say presidents and former presidents basically have blanket immunity for anything that they did when they were in an official capacity, and you can't prosecute them for that. I oppose that particular methodology, although it's probably going to be their decision. They could also side against Trump, and they could say, no, former presidents don't have any immunity. Presidents can be prosecuted for whatever they do in office, even in an official capacity. The problem being, of course, each president then, if they're of a different party, is likely to attempt to prosecute the former president because they had to have done something wrong. Show me the man, I'll show you the crime. The third possibility, and the one that I hope that they go with, is a much more level-headed response to the Jack Smith case, wherein they say, in this particular instance, with regards to presidential records in the specific sense, the president has immunity. You do not need to extend it further. You do not need to extend blanket immunity to presidents and former presidents. That's probably a bad idea, although, again, unfortunately, the one they're likely to go with. It's probably going to be a 5-4 decision in the end, in which they say that Trump can't be prosecuted at all, effectively. It could go beyond the Jack Smith case, by the way. It would set a precedent for the other cases against him. Do I believe that Donald Trump committed business fraud? No, I do not. The fact that he was found guilty is completely immaterial because the jury was quite clearly predisposed for multiple reasons to find him guilty. Do I believe he's guilty of RICO, of racketeering? No, nor do I believe that Giuliani and the others named in the Fulton case are guilty as well. Do I believe it's improper for a former president of the United States to bring their materials home with them and to retain them? Under the circumstances, the premise is the Mar-a-Lago is a pretty secure location. You've got security all over the place, plus Secret Service sometimes when Trump's there. And literally Trump, he's literally trying to negotiate with NARA at the time, with the National Archives, and literally followed through with their requests to double lock the door and things like that. The documents in the case, in the Jack Smith case, were under lock and key. They were in a secure location. No, they weren't just sitting next to the pool. Nobody had access to that shouldn't have had access to it. Trump occasionally would wander in there to astonish the guests, basically. He would take people in and show them the Time magazine covers and things like that, and Melania's underwear apparently too. And this was considered fascinating. Did he ever give the documents to a foreign power? No. Did he ever disclose any of that material in a knowing manner to somebody who shouldn't have known? No, we have no evidence of that. We have a claim that one time he waved around top secret nuclear details about Iran or something like that to a bunch of guests, but we don't have any proof of it. We don't have any proof that that ever actually happened. In the immunity case, therefore, if I were on the Supreme Court, I would say in this particular situation, this particular singular interaction with classified material, he has immunity. But I wouldn't go any further than that. I mean, you're setting a terrible precedent with a blanket statement one way or the other. The problem, again, is that either presidents will be perpetually prosecuted. Literally nobody will even want to be president at that point because they'll be like, well, yeah, I get to have executive power for 4 to 8 years. The second that I leave, the person that comes after me is just going to throw me in jail anyway, so I probably shouldn't put my name on the ballot. You'd have to force people to run for the office. Or you grant such blanket immunity that even if a president does something that's truly terrible, they literally commit treason or something like that, you can't do anything about it. Well, yeah, I mean, that would be, it'd be great for people like Joe Biden because otherwise they're going to get fucking prosecuted. I'm wondering if you're not going to see some lawfare against Joe Biden when he leaves office. probably in a couple of months, because I can't imagine he's going to get reelected. Probably not. No court will take up the case. That's the whole problem. Differential enforcement, of course. That also comes to mind. That's the other reason to protect Donald Trump. He is quite clearly a victim of differential enforcement. It's not so much the law, it's the application of the law. And it's becoming a real big problem in the United States. I mean, it has been technically for some time, but it's getting worse and worse. When we can see a multi-billionaire former chief executive persecuted in the way that he's being persecuted, that should give everyone pause, because, I mean, if it can happen to him, it can happen to literally everyone. It wouldn't be difficult. You think that the legal system can't drag you? Well, good luck having the money to fight the court case. At least Donald Trump, in his case, he has a lot of money, so it's a little bit of an advantage. He still gets found guilty of bullshit charges. Now he's got this particular case with regards to the Mar-a-Lago documents. You're cooperating with the archives. You're cooperating with Secret Service, which you have a detail of. You get raided anyway by the FBI for absolutely no inexplicable reason, and now they're trying to drag you in court. Jack Smith, quite clearly a blind egotist, by the way. So he should have immunity in that case. They can swipe it aside, and they can swipe left on this case and brush it aside pretty easily without creating a larger legal precedent. They simply have to limit their language. My worry is that they're not going to limit it so much, and that then presidents of the United States and former presidents, all of a sudden, you can't bring them in on war crimes charges. You can't bring them in on civil rights violation charges or something like that. Something that's actually meaningful. You're no longer capable of prosecuting them, effectively giving them permanent, lifelong diplomatic immunity against any charge that you can have, even when it's self-evident that they actually broke the law or did something shitty, something terrible. I believe in shielding Trump from these spurious charges. I don't believe in creating a larger civil precedent. That's about all. Peace out.